Jason Witten, a taste of that 15-year career with the Cowboys, a prelude to this current chapter, joining ESPN for Monday Night Football. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the team.
Thanks, Bob. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Well, I tell you, you've gotten to, before your first game, which will be next Thursday, Jets in Washington, you've taken to ESPN.com and you've written about social media in the NFL locker room. And considering how we started the show with our lead story about a presidential tweet, it's interesting that you write, the Twitter mob is not indicative of reality. I cannot tell you how much I agree with that, but you write it in the context of what social media can do in a locker room. What's the danger here?
Well, I think you just said it. I mean, it's not indicative of what the real world is. And quite frankly, it's almost like it's an underground world that it's in. And if you allow that negativity to creep in and get entrenched in it too much, then it can have a negative rap on your mentality, and certainly it affects players. So I used to tell all the guys all the time and remind myself, you got to keep your eye above the spectator line.
But have you had to look over, if you walk in after a practice or everyone's getting dressed after a game, you see guys looking down at their phone. Never a good sign, huh?
Yeah, well, it's part of the world that we live in, and we're all guilty of it at times, reading our mentions or thinking about it. And hey, look, it has a great resource to keep up with up-to-date information and stay in tune with friends and people you respect and admire. But if you allow the negativity to affect who you are, there's just no place for that in the locker room.
All right, so pay attention to that. One of the things I want to cover with you, because 15 years in the league, which is basically 4 times the average length of a career, you have seen so much. And we see an approaching labor negotiation, and we hear as the draft picks come in, the concept and the reality of guaranteed money is out there. To your mind, what's the most important thing the players need to achieve in their next labor negotiation?
Well, certainly you got to expand the equitable piece of the pie. That's always a top priority. There's a lot of talk about the guaranteed contracts, and I think you're seeing it. You see what Kirk Cousins was able to sign up in Minnesota, a fully guaranteed contract. And so it's probably never going to be like some of the other professional sports. It's just the game that we play. But another big important role is the health and safety. That's always going to be a top priority of the players. So it goes back and forth. I think that both sides have to find a middle ground. They're working towards that. And, for the player side of it, I think they have good leadership. And Eric Winston, the president's been a long time associate of that. He understands, has a good pulse of what the players want. And you're seeing in the last deal, not just dollars that you can put on it, but the health and safety for the players is a top priority.
Yeah, speaking about health and safety, we've got the new helmet rule this year. We're just starting out. There's criticism. There are different readings from officials as they talk to the players. How feasibly do you think this could be fairly officiated as we go through the beginning of this season?
Well, I think the league has the right mindset and approach to this, is that they want to keep it safe. They're working through it. I think the buzz will settle down some, coming off the first game. But, you just have to work at it. And it's tough because sometimes it's leading with the helmet. They're not necessarily doing that. They're putting their shoulder in the right place, and it just so happens the helmet's there. And so I think you have to work through it just like many other rules that have happened over the years. But I think the mindset's right, and that's to keep it a safe game. And coaches and players alike put a lot of time into it, as long as with officials. So it's a work in progress, but I think the approach and the mindset is the right way.
All right. We are looking so forward to seeing you Thursday the 16th, Jets in Washington. And if you want to get a quick taste of Jason's thinking, we said that social media piece, how Twitter has become NFL locker room poison, online at ESPN.com. Newest member of the team. He will be a Monday night staple. Jason, welcome aboard. Good to see you.